Thanks for coming out. I'm glad we could get together here today. A couple things I want to go over first. Congratulations to the basketball team. What a game yesterday, but really things going in the right direction. Coach Peichel and his team, they're a lot of fun to watch. Eric LeGrand, New Jersey Sportscaster of the Year. Great honor for him, and that's awesome. As you know, he's one of my guys, so really excited for him. Probably the big announcement here, obviously you guys know, is Kirk Ferentz coming back to be our offensive coordinator here at Rutgers, and I'm going to tell you guys the same thing that I told the recruits yesterday, and then I'm going to tell the team tonight at our team meeting. I've never been more excited to be the head coach at Rutgers than I am tonight. With Kirk coming back and leading the offense, and with Joe Harris-Simiak leading the defense, it doesn't get better than that. I've never had better than that at any level. National Football League, college, doesn't matter. These two guys are great teachers, great leaders, and I can't wait to put it together with these guys. It's going to be really good. So, we did an exhaustive search. I told you it was going to take time, and when you do a search, there's a lot of reasons why it takes time. Number one, talking to people, but number two, they have things going too. If you're going after the right people, they have other opportunities. They have things cooking in their life. So, but again, at the end of the day, if you get the right person, that's the most important. And I'll reiterate, never been more excited. So I'll open it up to questions. But before I do, I want to thank Rutgers, the university, the administration, for stepping up in a big way. When a head coach, you have to do what you think is best for the program, but you don't operate in a vacuum. And there's a lot of people that stepped up, and when we talk about the support and what's needed to compete in the Big Ten Conference for championships, the Rutgers administration understands, they're supportive, and I can't thank them enough for that. So it means a great deal to me and where we're headed. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Can you just talk about the process? You mentioned it, but what went into it, and how much did your previous relationship with Kirk help in that regard?
Well, the previous relationship helped a lot because we've been friends for a long time, and I know what kind of man he is, and I also know what kind of coach he is. So that was very, very important. The process is the process, right? I know what I believe we need at Rutgers, and Kirk's exactly what we need. I never get into, it's a dangerous process to get into, well, when did you see him and when did you do, because you know what, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that's sticky and not needed to be public, right? It's not public information. But what I will share with you is this is exactly what we need now at Rutgers. And that's why I'm so excited.
Expand on that. I mean, what kind of makes Kirk the right guy? The way he runs offenses. What made him the right person to lead your offense?
Yeah, it's a great question. I said it. He's a great developer of both coaches and players, right? And when you have a proven leader like Kirk, a guy that is, what proves somebody? Results, right? When a guy has results, we're in a result-driven business, and when a guy has results, well, how did he get the results? There's a lot of ways to get results, right? Is it just that a guy steps into a situation where he has better players than everybody? Well, that's one way, but that hasn't been the way Kirk has done it. Kirk has trained coaches, he's trained players, he's used the talent that he has and fitted into the system that the nice thing about Kirk's system, it has a lot of flexibility, right? If we have this, then we're going to do that. If we don't, and we have this, then it really emphasizes the things that we are strong at. And it kind of de-emphasizes until we can get those weaknesses to get better. It de-emphasizes that. But it really isn't. There's a lot of good scheme coaches out there. It isn't scheme. It's development. It's leadership, right? You got to develop guys. You got to take them from where they are to where they want to be. Right? And I use this all the time with coaches and players and recruits. But, the origin of the word coach is a horse-drawn buggy that takes important people from where they are to where they want to be. Well, there's no better description than that for Kirk.
Quick note on the process. Kirk signed a contract extension with Minnesota December 8th, I think it was, early December, and you guys come sign a month later. I mean, how did that impact the process as far as him as a candidate, and how did that impact you guys trying to land him?
Well, that's starting to get into that detailed area that's a little sticky. I will tell you this. Nothing ever surprises me in coaching searches because I've been through it myself. I mean, you guys remember I took a job at midnight and gave it back at 6 in the morning. So you never really know what happens in coaching because there's so many things that go into making that decision, right? It's, everybody thinks it's just football, the team. Everybody's got families, everybody's got relationships with coaches and players, and there's so much that goes into it that I would hesitate to get into all the specifics because I don't think there's any way to make it clear enough without having actually been in it. But again, I'm just really, really excited about where we're headed. And look, there's no magic pill. I don't care how good a coach he is. You don't just say, oh, right? It's going to be development, and we're going to do it the right way, development of staff, development of players, and we're going to get better gradually and just keep getting better and better and better.
Greg, you talk about Kirk's development of young quarterbacks and what he's done in the past.
Yeah, it's a good question, Fooch. That's certainly something he's very good at in developing quarterbacks. And, we have some young quarterbacks, right? So we need to develop them. And I think it's critical that within his system, there's different ways to help the quarterback. And what he has to do is he has to get to know our players, evaluate what we can and can't do, and then how do you help that guy that touches the ball every down? I think that's one of the things that he's best at.
Coach, how involved do you think you will be with the offense, knowing you have a guy as experienced as you do with Kirk?
That's a really good question, too. It's something that was really important to me because I have a lot to do as a head coach of a Big Ten program. And he and I have discussed the vision of the offense. We've discussed what we believe it's going to look like as we take the steps. But I have a true professional in there, just like I do in the defensive room with Coach Harris-Simiak. And I give these guys a lot of, I wouldn't say leeway, a lot of leadership runway with their staffs. I think it's very important that they are the leader of I'm the leader of the old program, and we staff meet and do things like that. But when they are putting this stuff together, they really run as two independent operations under one umbrella. And I jump in with them, I talk with them, but those are the leaders. And that's when I said the leadership in both the offense and the defensive room, I've never had it this strong.
Fair to say you'll be calling the plays.
Kirk? Yeah, very fair. Yeah, no, I didn't bring him here for me to call him, I'll tell you that.
Greg, in October, you talked a lot about complementary football when you made the decision to kind of move in a different direction. How does Kirk's offense kind of fit in with what you envision complementary football to look like?
I think not Kirk's offense. How does Kirk fit into complementary football? Right? I think one of the things that he and I are the most aligned on is it's about winning games. So whatever you have to do to win the game, that's how you win the game. It may be you go out and throw for 500 yards, or maybe you do something differently. Whatever it takes to win the game, and that's my job as the head coach, is I got to look at the whole picture and talk with Joe and with Kirk and say, okay, this is how I think we win this game. What do you guys think? Yes, no, and we come to a conclusion. Okay, this is how we're going to win this game this week. And that's what complementary football is, because when you do it as a program, it's different than if you have two guys as independent contractors that are just trying to do the best they can, right? That's noble, but sometimes it doesn't fit together.
Got time for 3 more, Coach. Just in your initial conversations with Kirk throughout the interview process, did anything stand out to you about the way that he's evolved as a coach? Any of his philosophies have changed since the first time that you've had him with the experiences he had over the last 10 years?
Yes. I think that Kirk knows exactly how he wants to build an offense. And whether it's this play or that play, you know what? He's going to look at what we have and he's going to figure. But more importantly, how you do it. The detail, the accountability, right? The commitment to what we're doing. That's going to be, I think, what you see over time. Our players and our coaches are going to feel like this is the way we're doing it. And we're going to get better and better and better. Whatever this is, that's up to he and the staff when they figure out what we can and can't do. But whatever it is, the commitment and the accountability to doing that, that's going to be for sure.
Greg, you talked about the excitement about the coaching staff. What about NIL and the Knights of the Raritan and that aspect, because that's so important right now, what's going on besides the coaches?
It is. It's the way of college athletics right now, big-time college football. The Knights of the Raritan have been unbelievable. You know, the amount of work that gets done, and, you know, this is a labor of love for a lot of the people that are behind that. You know, I know there's been some matching things going on, and a lot of the Rutgers faithful have stepped up in a big way, and we're grateful. But I'm grateful for the people who run the Knights of the Raritan, because that's their time. You know, they're volunteering their time to help us. And I encourage our fans, like I said last time, I encourage our fans and our supporters, whatever they can, to step up, because it definitely is part of college football now. It's the way it is, and I know it's the same in college basketball. So whether you like it or not, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, really. And I understand everybody's opinion, but it is what it is. It is the way current college football is, and for us to compete in the Big Ten East, we need to have that support, and I'm grateful for the support that we've received.
Greg, there's some vacancies on your offensive coaching staff, offensive line, and tight end. One, how do you see that process playing out, and how involved will Kirk be in that decision-making process in hiring coaches there?
Yeah, Kirk will be very involved. Ultimately, the head coach has to decide how it all fits together as a staff, chemistry, recruiting, all those things. But Kirk and I will work hand in hand to get that done. And I think, again, we won't rush. We'll do whatever it takes to get the right person. But I think things are lining up where it'll happen pretty quickly. You know, right now there's 2 more weeks where, as coaches, we're out on the road recruiting. And then you're back in the building with the players full time. And, you know, you'd love for it to happen by then. But, you know, remember last year we made some hires that went past that. I'm never going to sacrifice a week or 2 weeks. I'd rather get the right guy. You know, if you're a couple weeks late, that's the way it is. But, yeah, Kirk and I will work very closely, and we'll get that worked out. Guys, again, I appreciate it. Mark it down. We're going to have a spring game on April 29th. It'll be in conjunction with Rutgers Day, so it'll be a great weekend. Looking forward to having a bunch of alums back on campus. Again, we have some coaches that were here the first time we're here. I'm anxious to get some of our former players back here and really make a great weekend of it. So there's a lot to go on between now and then, but I want everybody to put it on their calendars. It's going to be a great weekend. All right, guys, thank you.